Hi, Sportster Paul here with our fourth and hopefully final episode putting together this Body Solid EXM3000 home gym. Really good quality, happy with it. Biggest problem is because the pallet was all busted up. Check this out. There was a box of weights, 5 10-pound weights were lost. So we're missing those over in the second weight stack here. This weight stack's complete. I have missing part, or not missing, but unknown parts. I have 4 3/8 washers left. It'll be a project to figure out where I assume they're right. All the parts were here. There are 2 plastic round end caps left. I think they were intended at one time to go here in the end of this bar here, but they've changed the design since then and it's welded over. So there's a white welded end to this. So maybe these are just unnecessary. And then there's one little tiny white plug, plastic plug, with teeth on it that goes into a hole somewhere. So just one of them. I have no idea where that goes. So that might be a little email. It won't be hard to add. Meanwhile, there was stuff I forgot. I've still got some parts that I just didn't realize were supposed to be put on. I made mistakes. So let's go and fix all of those and start doing the cables. That's the big job we have today. And the cables look complicated. There's 7 of them. Pretty intimidating, but I think it'll be straightforward. The biggest upset I have with the non-existent directions, just some assembly drawings, you can't put all the cables in at first. To get the cable routed, you have to have you can't have all the pulleys in at first. You got to leave 3 of the pulleys, I think, 3 of the pulleys out to get your hand up and get the cable and get stuff routed right. So that kind of annoys me that there was no notation, no written instructions at all. So we'll have to get past that. All right, let's go get the few parts left and go over where those go, and then we'll do the cables, hopefully be done with this. All right, catch you in a bit. Okay, first thing, these same little round plastic caps, they go in the end of these round things. Here's where they welded up. They can't go here, but I forgot to put them on this squat station where you hold your hands here, so there's 2 empty ones. I also didn't show in episode 3 this short little bar that you use in the seated station over there. It has 2 of these same plastic end caps. So we got that covered. Meanwhile, these caps had some serious issues trying to get them to go in straight. They tend to can't. I can't get them to work right. Let's see if we can do better here. No. It's like, and of course with them out, let's try it again. They can't. They finally go in, but I'm not too pleased by that. All right, same thing. I guess you just got to accept that they're going to go in at an angle and then get rude. All right. Rubber mallet so it doesn't dent them up too bad. That's that. Next we get to the next things. Next issue, I had one of these big square slide insulators where stuff slides. It looked around the machine. They called out 2. I only put 1 in here on this station, so I'm pretty sure I can pull this out. It's same deal. There's little tabs or protrusions here that go in these narrow slots. This doesn't, it's got burrs on the slots, but hopefully, got our rubber mallet again. See, it peels off little pieces of plastic because of the design. Now what I wonder is, will this go in? Because the one, oh, not too bad. I think we might be able to do it. Well, it's certainly not seamless. It's essentially non-adjustable now because this plastic, I think I've put it in as much as I can. Oh, God. I guess that's one aspect of a gym. The adjustments. Another 12 hours I'll figure out. I love this gym, but there's exasperations that just drive me nuts. Why didn't they just use one of the single long ones like they did over in that station? Why these faced ones like they did up there? All right, I'll mess with this and hopefully get it freed up. I'm not going to waste your time. All right, fundamental problem was the seat was a little too far back and it's binding back here. So now it's half good, still a little Mickey Mouse. There were burrs on the inside of this, so I hammered out the bottom plastic. I took this rat tail file, I got in there. The burr was on this slot, which had peeled off some plastic and put it into the slot that was backed by this, so that might have been a problem. I got a big file and relieved some of the runners in here. Got better. I've left a big black mark here, and that's what tipped me off. It's like, what's marking the back of this? Well, the seat was pushed back, so that was what was jamming it. So now it's fairly decent. This is one of the design problems. These plungers, which are beautiful, high-quality stuff, they just kind of thread in loose. There's no real stop. I'm thinking maybe Teflon tape. I don't want to drill and put a set screw. Maybe I just don't understand how this thing's supposed to work. All right, so that's that. All right, I should have mentioned that cap that I left off, for the sliding seat back there, that was on page 9, and I feel a little better because they didn't draw both of them. They just drew one of them going in from the top, and then you got to notice it says X2 times 2, so I don't feel so bad about forgetting it. Next, we're back on good old page 6, where they put half of the machine together. There's 3/8 by 2-inch cap bolts, A15. Cap head meaning, it's round with an Allen. They go in right here. So that's what screws, there's threads in this thing, and that's what picks this up. They give you the Allen wrench. So, and I'm sorry, I should have mentioned, there's a lock washer that goes on underneath it. So cap head and a lock washer. Let's see if we can get this in. Feel that lock washer pull up. Let me go do the back one. Oops. Real quick. When I was just slapping stuff together, I thought maybe these rods. Now with the 5 missing weights here, this could be a real problem. The thing drops down and hits this pulley. So we're going to have to figure something out a little more elegant for this thing. Oops. Drop the lock washer. I may have to put a piece of wood in here. We'll figure it out. Don't tell me it was that easy. So it stops, but the rod is going down and hitting where a cable runs. So that ain't gonna get it. So I'll figure out what to do here, custom. This is only because that pallet came busted up. I foolishly signed for it. I was half tempted just to say, no, take it back. When you send me a whole gym, I have to admit, it was scuffed up a little. But the big thing was it was missing one box, 50 pounds of weights. And I got an email in to Gronk Fitness Products. I did it Friday night, so I didn't expect to hear from them. And hopefully they're talking to Body Solid, hey, we need one of these EP or PP10 is what's on the box. So we got these in, all right? Little pieces of plastic there. Okay, next we'll get to the other things I forgot. All right, next there's 2 little rubber pads, smooth on one side, serrated on the other, and 2 little square yellow things. I'm fairly confident. They go on this pulley here with the base. That's one of the hanging pulleys. They got all these loose pulleys because they've got all these different stations and only 2 weight stacks, which is pretty good engineering. And then this one, this double one, with a flat there. That's where it goes. So let's see how involved this is going to be. I figure, come on, okay. It's black on the inside. I figure put it on the rubber. I got it cocked a little bit. Nowhere do they call this out. Matter of fact, you got to go to the later pages, 11, 12, whatever, where they're stringing cables to even see these guys. And I did miss it a little, so that's that one. Pretty much the machine's together. And you got cables, some accessories like ankle straps and stuff like that. So let's see if we can do a little better job on this one. A little better. Another thing, documentation, people don't realize is if you've done it 20 times, it's a little more natural. There's a hole here. Who knows, right? I'll just put it dead center. And we got that. So in addition to these two, there's a dual differential pulley. It goes right here. There's this pulley with the hook on it. Just like this one has a hook, but a flat, I just put the rubber on, and then this one with a hook. And those all hang in the middle here to give all this different action. All right, back in a flash, we're getting ready to do the cables. Hooray, time to string cables. Now, I hope you took my advice and went on the internet. They send instructions, they're just a bunch of drawings, and they print them both-sided on the ones that come in the box. So go on the internet, find the instructions. It's not hard. I link to it on my website. Print them out single-sided. And then you can see this cable business starts at page 11. And there they do three cables, D33, 3620 millimeters, D38, 520 millimeters, and D37, 2735 millimeters. Page 12, they do three more, D34, 1890 millimeters, D35, 1545 millimeters, D36, 4070 millimeters, and then just one on the squat station page, which is page 13, D39, 4270 millimeters. They also send an addendum. Must have had some, this is actually written instructions, gosh forbid. And this is how you hook up the cables to the weight stacks. So that's not going to apply to us right now. We're going to be on page 11, and to their ever-loving credit, see, there's things that just delight me. The deal is Body Solid is really good people, really care, have a great product. They just hired out the engineering for this, forgot to pay for the documentation. The guy who designed it said, oh, I'm not going to do the documentation, so then they maybe hired somebody else to do the drawing, and it's just a Flatlander isometric drawing. This isn't modeled the way I would do it. Oh, here's another little improvement. You can take off that clear plastic over Body Solid, let it shine. So one of the things that just delighted me beyond end, there's two bags of cables. The one that says EXM3000A, it's got a white label. See, they're trying to help us. Cable, one set. It's got, well, I should have counted how many cables are in there, but the important thing is you're looking for this cable with this big rubbery end. That's what's going to go up here. And they print, there's a little sliding tube, find that tube. They don't give you the D number, but we're looking for D33. You know, it's called out on page 11 in tiny little things, but like I explained, you're allowed to take a magic marker and write it big so you're not so confused. And it says right here, EXM3000, 3820, D33, 3820. To get that relationship between D38 and that, you got to go look on other pages where the bill of materials is, and you know, everything's a puzzle so that people can think they're smarter than us. Okay, so off of page 11, now here's the big annoyance that really ticked me off. I thought I put all the cables in, you put all out the cables. No, you can't get at the cable back here. And there's one pulley you need to take off as well up here. And there's one pulley you're going to need to take off. I'm almost sure, we'll see in the course of this video. The other thing is one little bit of written instruction. There's one sentence here on page 11. You must run cable through tubing and over pivot point or bolts. Well, of course you got it run through the tubing. What they're trying to tell you is there's this pin going in here, this big welded structure. If you take the cable, you're starting with the ball end, right? This big rubbery thing where it's identified. That's what's going to hang up here. It connects to that big long bar that you pull down. Because it's been wrapped up, right, there's a natural arc to this cable. At first I thought we'd have to take this one out, but you don't, especially if you use the cable arc to kind of help you point it, you can just, and off it goes. But the problem is that it's now trying to take it down, and it could go under the pin if you just push. Now it's just kind of stopping. It's kind of tricky. I'm pretty sure the way to do it is, don't get it all the way in. Twist it the other way. So now the cable is kind of in the wrong way. And hopefully that kept it pushed up against this surface and it's passed. And so now I'm going to swing around. Maybe we can do it real time. Let's see. We're going to swing around here. You need the, can you see it? I guess. Let's see. See, the cables come out. Am I sure it's above here? Pretty sure. But there's no way you're going to get it above this pulley, right? I will try. Maybe. No, I just don't see how to do this, right? It's just, why make life tough? It's more headaches with goofy documentation. So my theory, and I put notes, I kind of half figured this out. This is a 1/2-inch socket from doing that seat. Loosening and retightening the seat. Let's get a 3/8 or 9/16 socket. It's a 3/8 bolt. And this is when you really begin to hate these prevailing torque, called Nylox is a brand name. The problem is if you, see it flipped again. God, I despise this Craftsman wrench. I found there's these great snap-on wrenches where the whole head swivels so you can use them like a screwdriver. Okay. And let's get it. I've learned. Let's put the tools back in our tool bucket. So get the nut out. There's a bushing in the back here. Let's get that out as well. These are those gray bushings. Take the load. So let's put that down somewhere. I'll put it on top of the weight stack. You can remind me. Let's get the pulley out of here. Let's push this forward to get the pulley out. Put the pulley here. I'm going to pause now. You can almost see it's almost inconceivable that I'm under this. And that's that trick, right? Rotate it 180 so the arc of the cable, the natural lay of the cable is pushing up against here. But because this is important and they bother to actually have a whole sentence to help us with this, I'm going to go get a flashlight and see if we can see up in there and make sure that it's running over this pin. All right? Okay, back. I got my little Garrity light. So it plugs in the wall. It also serves as a power outlet. Goes on when the power fails. And I can see up in there, the cable definitely goes up above, right? Worth checking. So now let's, hopefully, we got the cable pulled back a little. We should be able to go here, pull up on this, get the bolt through, get the bushing for the back side. I assume it won't be hard, if this thing pops over. The other reason why it's important to get design intent and have it run above is it'll make the cable length wrong. And things are all pretty tightly designed. There's adjustments. This pulley here has 3 settings. It says for cable length. And there's an adjustment at the bar that pulls up the stack. But you really want to be where you're supposed to be. Now, referring to page 11, I am pretty sure this thing goes around in here, and that's the other thing. See, there's no way to get the cable. The cable runs out. I'm going to change the setup so you can see what I'm doing. It's important enough. All this cable stuff is confusing, all right? I'll be back. Okay, so here's the problem. You've got the cable. it's going to route around here, up here, down here, here, and then go down. And what that means is a little bit of push here makes a lot of cable movement. So it's multiplying the movement of the cable so that it's more effort. So this is a good thing, right? It's a great feature, but unless I'm getting something wrong, I can't figure out a way to get this cable around and up through here. Now what annoys me about this is they could have cut a triangle here in these flanges, even just on one side, and you'd have been able to get your finger in there and route it around. If I had a plasma cutter, I'd do that. It's a little riskier up here, like to cut a hole here, because that's going to weaken this structure. And this is heavy stuff, believe me, you watched me hold it up there. So I'm going to yank this one out. Let me get my tool bowl. And I have managed to lose the wrench already, even though it's in a bowl. And loosen. Come here. There are no bushings or anything on this, so getting the nut out, putting everything down so you're not holding stuff while holding stuff. Pull out the bolt, pulley slips out. Now you can push this down here. It might actually be a little tricky. I may have to take this one out again. I'm assuming I can get this. Here, let's hold this. There'll be a way to ensure that, okay, that seems to be running in the sheave. Oh yeah, and you can pull it and make sure it's running in the sheave. So that's not a terrible thing. Now you got to come up because you're going to go through here. I figure while it's in my hand, let's put this pulley back. What's nice is there's no bushings to mess with here, and they left a lot of clearance on this 3/8 bolt. So that's in. Get your nut. Everybody's a nut. And get back here. It's good it took, four episodes to get to this point, because I spent a lot of time looking at those pages, 11, 12, 13. You just snug. You don't got to refit. Back in the tool bowl. I assume I can do this while you folks watch. I assume. So then this one goes here. Now this one, I may have done this too soon. I may have screwed up. And this one goes here. And I'm hoping that I can get it to go down. I assume I can. Yeah. So I got this under here. Did I? Maybe I got this wrong. Gotta get it on. Oh, I love when I screw up like this. I had it, but it was twisting the cable. Okay, let's see where the cable's naturally trying to go. Let's put it on this side. There we go. And same thing, you can reach in, make sure they're not, twisted. Get that Garrity flashlight and look in there. And then run back here again. Right? And down it goes. And you can see, oh good, you can actually see that. And then I'm not sure what stops that, if it's just that rubber bushing, you can just barely see it, sorry. Maybe we can do a little, doesn't really help. You can just barely see it, it's bottomed out, so now I can give a tug, and I will make absolutely sure that the cables are all in their sheaves, that nothing's crossed like in here. That's the other neat thing. If they just put a triangle there, you'd see if these got crossed up. I don't think so. Then they go down, and I'll change, because this is so complicated, I'll change the camera setup and show what I do down there, and also check and make sure. I got to go look at page 11. I've already forgotten what. How bad can you hate them? Clip. That's because this was an eBay purchase. All right. So I'll go down and underneath and look at the page 11 and figure out what's going there. Reset up the camera so you can follow. But you know, this is it. The cable's all the way out, right? You pull on it, it pulls this thing. Matter of fact, it wouldn't hurt to make this thing naturally want to be completely in. Bang. Happy days, right? All right, back in a flash. All right, I was wrong about the thing going down to the bottom. It doesn't. It goes to this differential pulley. And it goes through the middle, like this. All right. And then it comes up. Can you see just barely? And hopefully, I'll just let this dangle. Hey, yeah, don't put it around the rod like that. It's not too hard. This is nice work. And it comes up, up, up. And I'm going to reset up so you can see what I'm doing down here. But the route, oops, not if I do that. Without the bottom cable tension, it's not stable. How about now? All right. So there's a little angle coming up here, but you know, this is the design intent. I'm going to reset up the camera so you can see what I'm doing down here at the weight stack. All right, so you come down from that angled pulley. If you're a motorcyclist, this is old news. I just got it temporarily hooked in here. The trick I used, I propped this up, right? This is one of the other pulleys that's going to hang somewhere. Oh, as a matter of fact, this one goes up here. I brought this up so that there's plenty of slack on this cable because you're going to need it. There's a poly bag with these little chrome, like motorcycle cables, right? Little ball end. There's a set screw. It was confusing. I'm like, the set screw runs all the way in, and that's what allows the barrel to go in. So let's see if we can figure this out. Let's get a lot of. Then this one screwed me up a little. I should have remembered motorcycle stuff better. The pocket obviously goes down, so the smooth. You go over the black cable. That's how you get this in. Then it slides in the same plastic little poly bag with the two of these, one for each weight stack. There's the little Allen wrench that's correct. Try not to bend the cable too hard anywhere, right? That's never a good thing. So then just this little, I think that little bit of extra, if you let go of something and everything flops loose, I think that's what's protecting. Now let's see if we can get it in, because I haven't tried this yet. Go up, go in. This was the pin. Drop this. Because the pulley isn't super constrained, it fell. Let's see if we could just get it here. All right. And so it's up, I don't know, 1.5 inches here. No crisis. I can adjust that pulley up there, and there's also threaded rod here. Matter of fact, how about that? I'm not sure. There are instructions. Oh, no. I want to be real careful about this. Because you don't want to be turning this rod, because of the way this is, it turns the cable too. So I'm gonna diddle with this. It's not too monstrously complicated to run this up without twisting the cable up, because that's never a good thing. And then seeing there's warnings about how much thread you have here, right? You can't have 2 threads holding this bar down here. So I'll go look that stuff up, be back in a flash, hopefully have it all adjusted, and have this pin in. Okay, it was the addendum that they added, probably for safety or people confused like me. This is where it warns you. This threaded part of the rod has to be at least 1/2 inch into the pickup rod. There's missing parts, because this addendum shows out there's a 3/8 by 7/8 hex head bolt that's supposed to screw in here. It looks like it might actually thread directly, because it doesn't call out a nut. It just shows a bolt going in there. All the bolts are used up, so maybe my Harley stuff I'll have something. Same deal, I propped it up. You don't want to be unscrewing this thing and have the cable twisting. So this way you can kind of put, by putting this gizmo up and picking the plate up, And what I wanted to do is, like, how do I know it's a 1/2 inch? Well, right there is a 1/2 inch. And this is going to help us decide if we have enough or if we got to go adjust that pulley down a little bit. Oh, come on. All right. So there's a lock washer here. Let's screw this in. Make sure we get our 1/2 inch in the rod and then some. Get this pulled in. It's not bad, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to lower that pulley there. It's a good time to tighten it as well. I'm going to bring that pulley down, and that'll let us move this thing deeper in. I figure the more threads, the better, and it looks cleaner anyway. So I'll be back after I got that done. Okay, so where this cable goes, that's 3 holes in those flanges that let you move the pulley. I had it in the middle hole. I moved that down, so now the plate's flat. And same deal, you can't just turn this, or you'll hold the cable so you make sure that, and let's see if I got enough. I think this is going to work out great. I figure it's good to have a little bit of tension, but you don't want to see the let's get this over here. Can you see this pulley? Not really. The pulley, the dual pulley that goes up and down and is just kind of pinched by this. See, now it's much lower here. I'm happy I moved that. Go in a little bit more. Maybe. Go in a little bit more. One turn. I'm going to leave it there. What has to be done is I got to go find a 3/8 bolt somewhere. I probably got one. Run it in here, only other than the weights that are missing here. So that's it, first cable. Big success, happy days. Let's get this thing back where it belongs. And hopefully we'll have as much luck with the next 6 cables, all right? We'll be back in a bit. All right, now this kick out pectoral station, wherever you want, quadriceps, I don't know. Once again, bless their hearts, in that same bag with the white label. This one's easy to recognize because it's got these 2 round ends on it, like a clutch cable for a motorcycle. It says there's a little sliding, oh, this one's stiff. It says EXM2735. EXM3000 and 2735, which is the length of the cable. And because nothing can be simple, you go back and forth, and you see D37 on page 11. D37, you go on the other page. What's D37? Well, it's 2735. You write it down here so you can figure stuff out. And I'm not even sure I'm going to be doing this right. All I know is the parts that were left over that I don't understand, I'm going to take a picture of them so that you can focus. There we go. I think there's a little ellipse with this stuff blowing up. It goes up here. I figure, let's put the non-labeled part of the cable up here. Maybe it would be easier to work like this. No, not really. Keep it up here where you can see it. And try to figure out what their design intent was. I think the deal is those big round ones, the big bushing-y thing, then the cable, then the other, this is the way it works. Then the other bushing thing. Now I have a bolt in my right hand and a lock washer and a prevailing torque nut. Talk about double safety. Then you can push this here. Oh, wait a minute. Why is this nut? Can't put this in with this cap here. Oh, maybe I can actually pry it off with my fingers. And I forgot the fasteners to do this, so. But I'm going to leave the washer out. There's barely enough threads, and there's a big burr here. So I'm going to take the nut. I'll be back. I gotta figure out the way to hold this in. Hang on a sec. Okay, so it's a 5/16. It's A20. It's a cap head, Allen bolt, 5/16 diameter by 1.5 inches long. It's not quite long enough. The plastic, I'm leaving that lock washer out. That lock washer might have been for one of these 5/16. I forgot. You know, it's supposed to be holding up some of the seats. That's the only other place I remember 5/16 being used. It's a 1/2 inch wrench that takes it. They give you an Allen wrench in bag number 2. Don't be like me and get confused. I only opened the big bag of bolts, the bag of the big bolts. So this goes in here. Yeah, see, it's not really, that's good. You can see me working? Yeah, you can see me working. Well, that's going to be as good as it gets. The bolt should be longer. A little design problem. So then, I guess you might be able to see, we can let this down like this. Then this end, I was worried, I tried this before I started the camera. It does just, the cable will barely pop over this thing. There's that. Can you see it? Happy days. Then it goes up to that differential pulley and down, but then it shows a third cable, the third one we're working on. There's a short 520 millimeter cable. I haven't found that one. Oh, while we're here, let's pop the cap back on the end of this thing. All right. So let me go find that and figure out, it's like many things, unclear how 500 millimeters, that's 1.5 feet. Okay, I'll go see if I can find that cable. It's probably in the other bag. We'll get it. All right, in the second bag of cables with the pink label, I think it says B on it, there is a 1.5 foot cable. It's got a ring here. It's got a clamp here, a little turnaround thing, and 3 chain links. And I guess that's how you adjust the length of this. There's 2 carabiners. So because I figure it'll be easier to adjust the length up here than on your hands and knees down there, take the carabiner, put it in. You're going to be off camera, but there's a tab down here. It's not too hard to get. Then, and this cable's here. The other cable comes up, up, up. I checked this before. It's going to be exciting. It does go through. It goes through on this side. Comes, gets hooked. Because nothing's going to be easy for me. There we go. Gets hooked. There's tension. Oh, how cool. See, this is the cleverness. There's some good engineering in this thing. So when you pull on that top thing, this doesn't go anywhere, and it pulls the weight stack up. Now we can pull the weight stack up again. So we go here. Oh, and I forgot to hook my carabiners on. Where did I put it? Here it is. We're on page A11, or page 11. I don't know why I keep saying A. I've been doing that the whole thing. This is it's a little loose. I know a little tension here would help. Doesn't seem like it's a whole chain link length, though. Let's try it. Only way to find out. Let's go, instead of the last chain link, let's go one before. Be nice if there's a turnbuckle to do this. I don't think this is going to work. forgot my pin for this weight stack. Huh? I like leaving a little tension on this thing, which means it was one link loose. The theory being, oh, no, that's not a good thing. Because now this thing is floating, and I don't like that. So let's go back. Let's go back to where it was. Oh, no, you don't have to do that. Just get this guy up here. Pull this chain link. Get this chain link. Sure wish I had a little bit more analog kind of adjustment here. There. And now this is up, pressing the way it's supposed to be. A little bit of slack, but not terrible. And, matter of fact, we can use this thing for the first time. Put a little weight here. Come over here. Oh boy, it ain't going. That's a lot of resistance. I can tell. I'm not so upset about missing those plates. If there's that much resistance for this few plates, we'll be fine. And then this one here should work as well. Yep. So we've already got 2 stations done. Not too bad. We'll be back. I think page 11 has one more cable. Let me look at this. It's got that one. No, 3 cables, although they came in 2 different bags. All right, now I'll start working on the other setup. That'll be this side, okay? Back in a flash. Should mention those 3 cables got 3 stations working. The push out, pull, the pull down, and the kick out of your legs. So now we're going to work on this side. This is page 12. Once again, you got to do double entry, whatever. Go look up the D number, see the length. Then on the cable, we are looking for the one up top here. It's a short, fairly short cable. It is 1,890 millimeters. What's that, about 6 feet? And then it's called D34. It has balls. Can you see it? Just ball ends and that's going to go in here. Now the other part we need is called AB. It is this pulley with the hook on it, but it doesn't have the flat plate. Don't get it confused with this one that's got the flat plate and a little rubber square on it. That's going to be for up there. So this one, see if we can figure it out as we go. I'm going to go here, behind. Just drops in there. I'm kind of insured. Put the pulley down. You can just get over those. So that goes there. Come this way. Then you can kind of roll the pulley. This goes, oops, come on. Get in, there we go. Get here, can you see this? Pop the ball in there. Oh no, you can't do it this way, duh. Roll it. Oh no, you're not going to do this to me. Yes, they are. No written instructions. Got to take the pulley out in order to get this through. I'll be back. Okay, get the pulley out of this thing. Put the cable through it. Put the pulley back in. And come down here and kind of roll the wheel. Don't kink the cables ever too hard. Come here. Go here. Right? And that's the whole reason for this little differential setup is either one works independently or both work together. Now let's get the bolt back in. Yeah, you can just barely see what I'm doing, huh? Oh, you can see me dropping the wrench because I'm in a hurry because I feel cheated because they didn't tell me how to assemble this thing. They just showed me a picture of it all together. All right. Just snug. So that's that one. Okay, we're going to go look for more cables. We'll be back. Okay, because they're wasting my time, I'm going to waste yours. More cables that you can't have the pulleys in, which I personally think is a terrible design, but that's my opinion. Let's see, that's this loosened? I think it's loosened. Okay. All right, we are on page 12. We're trying to get this pull bar. It is cable D35, which the cable is marked 1,545 millimeters, 1.54 meters. This dark black rubber thing goes here. Here's the shrink tubing where it's got the printing. But it's got this chain. It does go on the top, right? Sure does. So it won't go through with the pulley in. I wonder if they added the chain or added stuff. Well, let's make life easy. Let's go. Will it fall? I guess not. Okay. So stick this through here. Life is good. Pick this up. I get so infuriated. Could have had a little note, a little asterisk by each thing. Install with cable. 3 words, a few different places. We got to take another one apart too. Boy, does this upset me. Okay, so then we get this one. They got a little relief. You know, there's a little round thing here that this pockets into. So I'm going to go find, well, no, I know what I got to do. I got to take this one, you know, just 2 flat plates. This has got to come apart. That is almost without saying. Okay. Pulley goes through. Is it? I guess if you want the nuts on the back side where I walk, I'll put it in like this. Is this right? No, actually it's not. Because I'm pretty sure it comes down like this. Let me get the bolt in this thing. There's only two ways. This is trivial because it's just which way the bolt heads are going to face, right? I should have gotten a carabiner. Oh, there's another wrench size, a little tiny nut on this thing that fastens it. But I think I've got it. Page 12. This is D35. It goes down like this, I think. And I believe I need, you know, they're not showing a carabiner here. They're just showing this goofy thing. So let's unscrew this and see if the okay. I'm putting it all the way out just till we figure stuff out. And this thing kind of hangs like this. Pull this, it goes up. Does it show it down this low? Kind of. Put the nut on for this. Just snug. And in my warning about leaving stuff loose, because it is kind of safety related, I'll probably have to adjust this chain, but let's just use our crescent wrench because I don't know what size this is, 3/8. It's a tiny little thing. But I'm just going to use the crescent wrench, Mickey Mouse, amateur hour, and tighten it just a little bit. And it's jammed, unbelievable. Okay, and that little cap nut prevents the chain from flying off. So I think that's design intent. Okay, couple more cables to go. We're doing okay. What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2 more, I think. All right, we'll be back. All right, still on page 12. Now we're going to do the weight station here. Dirt from grinding this. Get this loose. All right. This is the short pull bar. You can sit here and put your feet on this station here. This is D36 cable. It's 4070. A little thing here, EXM3000, 4070 millimeters. I don't really like the looks of this one because they just show the end just kind of floating in space. So, near as I can figure, this goes through here. Easy money. Okay. Then it goes up to this one. Oh, please fit. Yes, see, because it's a ball end. That's why I hope they'd all be. So then it goes there. Then it goes down through this one. It's kind of comforting where it just, the cables kind of go where you want them to go. So, I guess, can you see that? No. So now we're going to go up. I'll set up the camera and you can see the pulleys I mess with up on the top. Oh, I should have mentioned, well, except I've lost them already. There were 3 carabiners left. 2 of them go here. Here. And I'm just going to put the chain all the way out. We'll figure that out later. I really am glad I put the, my first thinking putting this over, you can put it on that side or you can put this station over here. On that side, it's kind of behind the squat station and you think, well, it's more compact, but for me, it gets in the way of going out that patio door there. So that's that. Oops, look at that. So we're just going to leave that there. Let me go set up the camera and we'll go up top and show you what's going on up there. We're almost done. Okay, I forgot to mention that last carabiner goes on up here. I guess you can take that bar and switch it to this location. So that's good to know. You got to have everything back the way it's supposed to be in real life. Then this is the one that's got the flat little rubber thing here and one of those hooks. Let's make sure that's loose. Yes. So come up. Come here. And then it's kind of weird. They just, what I don't understand is why there's 2 pulleys here. Why don't they just use this one pulley here and have a bigger angle going down? But that's their business. Alrighty. So we're coming here. We come all the way down. And then that's what's a little tricky. See, this is going to go like this, which means we can put this ball end through in this direction. No, I'm sorry. It goes in the bottom. In this direction. Put everything over here. And then, same deal. I guess we're just going to have to live with that. Then, can you see the ones up top, the angled ones, comes here. Get this going here. And look, and how about that? I think this one has to come down. Oh, no, we get to adjust this rod. So we're almost there. We're about 1/2 inch. The ball is about 1/2 inch here. What I'm not sure of is if this rod is in the overall right spot. Is this level? Yeah, I think it is. I put a pin in, and raise the rod up and put a pin in. I've got the little barrel thing that goes here. So I'm going to, it's nice. You can sit on the squat station while you're doing this, all right? I think, same principle, I would like to lower that pulley up top the same way we did on the other side. So I'm going to come back after I do that, all right? I did all that goofy propping stuff up over here. All you got to do is pull the pin out, raise the whole thing up, and stick the pin back in, and the pin here holds it. Here's a little barrel that was in that plastic bag. Trick is you don't put over the chrome thing, you put the slot through the black and then pull it so the ball fits in. Take the little Allen wrench they include. I think you can see that this thing is, it's flipped around upside down. Tighten this, get the Allen wrench, I guess in my mouth, I don't know. And then come up here, there we go. So then drop it down. Well, that's the thing. Oh, please, please, please stop fighting me. There we go. And does the pin go in? No. I'm going to suss this out on my own time. It looks like it has to be a little higher if I want it the same level as this. So I'm just going to get it so I can get a pin in, and it's hanging under its own weight and everything's happy and this thing is right. It's kind of close here where this cable and this one touches. And we'll do the squat station and then worry about this adjustment. Okay, back in a flash. Grr. Well, I knew I'd have to take one of these pulleys off just because there's no way. Same deal. If they put a little triangular hole here, you could get your finger in and get the cable up and around. As it is, no such luck. I was wrong about there being no carabiners left. There is actually one more, goes right here. This chain is the adjustment, something I'm not crazy about. But here's the problem. Okay, get that. And then it's fairly straightforward. It runs to the top. But see, it's got this, can you see it? This ring, ball end kind of thing. So, well, I can get it down. So I think the deal, 9/16. By the way, we're on page 13. This is the one. And this is a good deal. It's a force multiplier, right? Having multiple pulleys like this. So this pulley, bottom pulley comes out. So you can get this thing here. Let's get it all laid out so that any kinking this cable wants to do is over with. Look at this, what a mess. Well, maybe we'll unkink it this direction. Oh, come on. There we go. So that's unkinked. This goes like that. Then, I might have to take this one out too, because I doubt there'll be clearance. Will this fit? Oh, God, this is so infuriating. Just an asterisk. Oh, by the way, don't put this in until you're out the cables. As a professional tech writer, it just upsets me that people would do stuff this sloppy. Like I say, I don't blame Body Solid. They probably hired somebody to do the documentation, and that was over budget, under something. Something went wrong. But we're fixing that with this video, right? Okay. Good. And then we're going to go kind of get the natural lay of the cable. And this one goes here. I'm pretty sure we're going to have to take that one off over there too. I got our auto flip. The other thing I'm going to do while we're down here, I put these two pillow blocks so the zerks, the grease fittings, point this way, but that means the Allen wrench is out in the air over here because this pin isn't long enough. So I'm going to loosen this pull it out, flip it around, put it back in so that the Allen wrench is here, and this Zerk points towards the back. A lot of moly grease all over here. I'll get some wipes. Once again, this doesn't have to be terribly tight. There, I think that's enough. Okay, then, obviously this goes through the hole in the frame. Let's get that. Be careful not to kink it. Ah, look at this. There we go. Now it's in. All right, good. Now this is where I don't think we're going to have room again. Oh no, they did it. Thank you, Body Solid. They left enough room in this pulley back here. Okay, get nice floppy, make sure everything's in the sheaves. Watch, we're going to need it. I think you can just barely, I tried to set that camera up so you could just barely see this pulley. Where are you? Right here. Can you get that one? Yeah, there it is. This one right here. So get the cable, nice and taut. Looks like they left enough room on this one. Oh, bless you, Body Solid. And up it goes. That's it, baby. Make sure it's in the sheaves everywhere. Stand up. I'll probably have to move the camera so you can see. Actually, don't. So this is that little hook deal. All right, still on page 13. We're just finishing up. This might be the last. I hooked it here. Okay, so you take this little white cap screw off, and it's just loose enough I can get it hooked. Then down there, those chain links, I guess, is where you adjust this. You don't want to pull this thing off, right? This whole thing pulls down. Let me first follow my own advice and not forget about tightening stuff. There's other places, I wonder. Crescent wrench, just a little snug there, so that won't fall off. Once again, I assume if you let go or a cable breaks or something, I think I can pull this down, right? Yeah, see, that's what does it. It's picking them here. I got to figure this mess out, but I'll do that on my own time. You got the principles, right? So, 2 pulleys unbolted and tightened. So now let's get back and review everything. I think we might be done. I'll go check this adjustment and see if I can take one link out of it and still have things, it's a little sloppy here. All right, back in a flash. Okay, all the little stickers. Here are some. Here are some. Used a sharp razor blade to get under them and then peel them the rest of the way. And then I started to use Goof Off to take the adhesive. It takes the sheen off the paint. Not the best paint in the world. So then I used a combination, and this is also to clean up that moly stuff. I got this because you couldn't get Clorox wipes during the worst of the pandemic for availability. Miracle Wipes, heavy-duty cleaning, cleanup made easy, blah, 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 professional grade. It's a different chemistry than the last Clorox wipes. Both of them worked pretty good. You know, this is taking that moly grease that I was putting in the pivot points off. So these are the Clorox wipes. This is the, what is it, Miracle Wipe? Miracle Wipes. At least they were available. The Miracle Wipes seemed good. The paper's coarser. It was good to get the blobs of grease off. But they both worked just fine. I'd be real careful. I mean, there's places where I took the sheen off of the paint with this naphtha, with Goof Off. So don't do that. Don't make my mistake. However, I can't figure out how to get the adhesive off without this stuff. What solvent takes off the adhesive and doesn't take the sheen off the paint? When I use solvents, I got to use gloves because my cuticles get all broken up and cracked otherwise. So that's it. Wiped it down, cleaned it up. We're ready to go. So left over, 2 caps here, 2 plastic end caps, round, that I think these are welded up. I think they were meant to go here. one little white cap, plastic. Don't know where that goes, maybe an email. I have 4 flat washers left, 3/8. Probably just left them off, not paying attention somewhere. I'll have to go figure that out. 1 5/16 for that cable end up front here for the swing your legs out station. The bolt wasn't quite long enough. They did not ship the 2 bolts that are supposed to go in here to pin the barrel. I happen to have some. They're 1.5 inches long instead of 7/8, but that won't kill me. So I've got that snugged up. So that's done. What else is left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 Allen wrenches that they include. And a little jar of touch-up paint, which I thought was pretty cool. We can see real time. The one bad scrape this got was right here. I've cleaned it with solvent. Let's see how this works. Oh, check that out. So we'll let this coat dry. There's a couple other little nicks and scrapes, nothing as bad as this, or as visible. So we'll let like the painters taught me, do it thin. Oh, by the way, this was broken. Something got smashed. This is like a metal that they glue on, so the bod and half of the D is split and ripped right here. I'll take a picture of that. Let's do that now. Let's see the other damage. Oh, the other thing I didn't mention, the labels for the weight stacks. I'll put those on. Trick there is you don't have oily, wash your hands real clean and real dry. Let me take a picture of the broken body solid. Okay, I should mention they give you an ankle strap with a plastic bag, and then this strap. It's got 2. So that's included, and I'll go on the internet and look at their exercises. We'll see how all that's supposed to work. Okay, we're putting in the labels. They're much nicer than I thought. They're aluminum, I think. They're metal. So just peel them off the back. I find there's 21 of them. So I'm putting 21 on the bottom, and it looks like number 1 will actually be this sliding piece. Oops, 19, come on. I'm always putting them a little bit crooked. That's okay. All right, so I'm just going to go through and do this on the other side where the missing weights are. I'll be back in a flash. All right, got the labels. Remember, 21, so I put a 1 on this piece here. So the first plate itself is 2, down to 21. I'll go do the other side, and then we'll be ready to put the covers on. See you in a bit. All right, we got the labels in down here. Page 14, last page. We got these covers. As always, the documentation isn't quite right. There's a little lip on one side of these. One of the 4 has this body solid, same kind of metal press-on thing that they had over there. If you want this up, if you want the body solid high enough to read, I guess that means this one should go over here so that the lip is here, because that's, I figured, the design intent, right? You want the lip here where your hand's reaching, which means this one, which doesn't have anything written on it, has to flip around. Oh, there's a warning label I see down there, which also kind of tells me that this is the way it's supposed to go. I've got one of them out so far. It's nice that they stand up. Solid steel, really heavy. One of the included Allen wrenches goes here. So these are shipped with these in position. Boy, I don't know if they use Loctite on these or what. They're pretty tight. Maybe just a cheap tap leaves burrs. Okay. So, let's see if we can get this. Oh, splendid. It pretty much can sit on the floor. I'll probably raise it up off the floor a little bit. But it's kind of nice that you can get to, there's slots, So I'll be able to raise it up a little bit, get it off, because I don't think it should be sitting on the floor. Once again, the little thing is over there. One of them got scraped up pretty bad, but that's life. This guy run in quick and pick it up as high as it'll go. And come on. I hope that quiets down. Let me get the top one tight. All right, and this one that we flipped around has got the edge here. I'll do that off camera, so we'll get all 4 put in. All right, and we'll be back ready to finish up. Wrong again, Paul. This one with the thing here, this one half covers up the numbers, and it looks like the flange in the back is a little shorter, the one without the little, maybe that's just a stiffening rib, so maybe I shouldn't have flipped one of these upside down. I'm going to take this off, flip it around, and then maybe I'll be able to read the numbers. Right now, this edge comes right to halfway through the numbers. No written instructions, no help there. Be back in a flash. Okay, well, I flipped this one around so the shorter flange here, it doesn't have that little angled tab here. You can now read the numbers. You try to do that on the other side, the squat station side, and it interferes with a pulley there. So side over there, I've got both of these little angles faced. The numbers are half covered up, but the way you sit in the squat station, you can kind of see them. Pretty sketchy. There was a big weld blob in one of those, so I had to take a cold chisel and a little hammer and knock that weld blob off so it would sit flush. Otherwise, not too bad. What else? This thing was loose, this little bumper for there, so that was rattling a little. Oh, it's not complete until we do this. If I can get it. Oh, look, the body solid comes off. Oh. I've never seen anything like this. It's like there's thickness to it. All right. So that's a trick. Don't just rip this off or you'll rip your body solid in half like happened up here. How's this one? I'm going to actually walk around. Every time I remember something on this machine, I find some new joy. Oh, this one's completely coming off. Let's press the body solid down here. And see if we can figure out a way to start this and get it and press the letters. See, there's even a period. I don't know if the temperature or some other issue. It'd almost be better if they included these separate. But pulling it at a sharp angle. Okay. Okay, little epilogue here. There was one more part left, which is this poster. See if I can twist it out. And I assume, oh wow, I thought it would just be an ad. This is a poster that explains all the exercises you can do. That's going right up on the wall. Out of sight. Thank you, Body Solid. Now that all the grief with the instructions and that, it's like high price. You regret it once, but quality you appreciate for the rest of your life. Other thing for the epilogue. I did tighten one link over there in the squat station to tighten up that cable. I flipped that pillow block around so that the Allen or the Allen head, the cap heads, tighten on the shaft. And then I got an email after I was done filming. I got an email from Dan at Gronk Fitness Products, who is the Amazon seller that I bought this from, and they're a big fitness outfit up north. Total, like I suspected, total support. It's like, hey, you need 5 plates, right? I'll get them out. They're in stock. I'll have them out to you. I feel like an idiot. I should have counted. I should have figured this out. I had the information to count the boxes, figure it out, count the separate little plates in the picture, because they don't call it out anywhere, and figured out that I got 7 boxes of weights instead of 8. So he's going to shoot me out those 5 weights, So I'll have to take it partially apart, but you know, that's life. Get those 5 weights in, and then we'll be rocking. So thank you, Gronk Fitness Products and Body Solid. Heck of a gym. Now that I got through the documentation, I'm a Body Solid kind of guy, all right? Catch you later. Thanks a lot.